Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and in this video, we are going to be covering my Bommel team on the highest difficulty, which is level 90 hard. I'll be talking about my experience in getting past this boss because it is probably the hardest content that Plarium has ever introduced to Raid Shadow Legends. So I will give you my experience and walk you through my team that worked for me while we discuss defeating level 90 on hard Bommel. So let's get into it. Alrighty, so you can see I've got my team pulled up right there, and we'll just walk through left to right, and I will explain the thought process and why I brought them to the table for this fight, and then I'll show you kind of the run and action. I have it sped up like you saw in the intro. So Rector is just god tier for this boss. So like one of the best epics in the game for Bommel, just an insane kit. You can see here we've got the A1 that places decreased attack, but you will see I've only got Rector at 166 accuracy. It's really hard to get the stats necessary. Like I said, this boss is some of the toughest content that Plarium has ever introduced to the game, so getting the gear necessary to clear the highest difficulty of it is going to be very hard. So to get the HP and the speed and the resistance and everything you need to go with the build, it's really hard to squeeze the accuracy in there as well. But if you were able to, getting decreased attack on the A1 is absolutely game-changing. Then we've got the A2 that's going to heal all allies on the percent of her max HP, and then after we're going to place a Veil, so also pairs well with the Duchess that I have got right next to her. And then we're also going to place continuous heal for one turn instead on heals with less than 100 HP, 100% HP, so you get some ancillary heals as well. And Revive as well is going to be amazing to help you in those clutch situations, and you're going to fill their turn meter by 60% and place a perfect Veil on them. And then her passive is just nuts for this boss. Whenever an ally under a Veil or perfect Veil gets a turn, we're going to heal them by 10% of their max HP and also increase the resistance of allies under Veil or perfect Veil by 50. So you pair her with someone like Duchess, who's going to be placing Veil on champions, and boom, we've got lots of resistance, lots of heals. And then Rector also has the ally resistant Doom Tower battles by 55, which is insane for this boss as well, because you do definitely want high resistance champions. So Rector is just the god tier of the god tier for epic champions against this boss. Then for Duchess Lilitu, I mean, need I say more? Duchess is one of the best champions in the game, bar none. So it obviously makes sense. She's going to be very good in most Doom Tower situations. But the reason she is good for this boss is going to be because of the passive, where you're going to decrease the damage you're taking by 15%, and Bommel can actually hit hard with his AoE attack. So having that on just passive value is insane. And then we also get all of the Veil and Revive and support utility that Duchess is bringing to the team. And that's going to pair with our Rector Droth to get even more value out of the passive. And we got the Veil and all those different synergies going on. Now, I know Duchess is an expensive champion. I don't want to put too much in one video. I may do another video where we talk about some of the more budget options. But for this one, I'm going to be showing you my team and the thought process around why I was doing them. But if I get time, I will totally work on bundling all of the budget options, and we'll get a budget Bommel video out as well. Then sliding over to the right of Duchess, we have got Vizier Overless. Now, okay, his A1, obviously, we all know why Vizier is insane. He's got a triple hit A1. You can book this up to a 50% chance to increase the duration of all debuffs on the target. So you want Vizier going after your debuffers that are going to be placing the decreased attack and most notably the decreased accuracy. You want to make sure Vizier is speed tuned to go after them and extend things so that he can go ahead and get them bumped up before the extra turn mechanic is going to remove them from Bommel. So obviously you can start getting, you'll see in the run that I show you, we get things stacked up to 10, 20 turns on the debuffs of the crucial things. But Vizier also has this A2 here that is going to have a chance to place block buffs and decrease attack, which are both really good in this fight. So you probably want to do a situation where you customize the team setup AI to have Vizier spam the A1, but you may want to interject a little bit after you get a few stacks, 5, 10 of the decreased accuracy and stuff, to try and place the block buffs and the decreased attack if you don't have it already, because that can be crucial as well. Then Whirlwind Frost King, the Battle Pass god himself. If you are new to Raid, Whirlwind was the end reward of the one and only battle pass that Plarium has done as a part of Raid. But supposedly, battle passes are supposed to be coming back at some point in the near future. We'll have to stay tuned on that. But anyway, for Whirlwind, the calling card for him in this fight is the fact that he's got decreased accuracy for 2 turns on the A2 here, and it cannot be resisted. So we can build Whirlwind with high resistance, build him very sturdy, scales his damage with defense, and it can't be resisted, so we don't need to worry about getting a ton of accuracy on him, because the freeze also cannot be blocked or resisted. And a cool thing about Whirlwind is his AI. Plarium got this right out the gate. Whirlwind has awesome AI for this fight. He will actually target those minions, those bombs, those dread bombs that are next to Bommel. He will freeze them and give you a ton of utility out of the A1 as well. Plus, we've got strengthen, increased defense. Whirlwind, just a really solid pick for this fight. And you have to bring somebody with the decreased attack. It's just so paramount for this fight. If you're doing any sort of normal strategy where you're trying to fight the boss, you're going to want high resistance, and the decreased accuracy is a must-to-have. Whirlwind is great at fulfilling that role. Then here in the 5th and final spot, there's a few different routes I thought about going. I may build an Uragrim to try to speed up the runs. I may try to get some insane gear on Uragrim and slide him into there. I went with Vogoth just to make it a little bit closer to that 100% win rate I'm going for, because the run already takes forever. We'll talk about a way you can kind of speed up the run as well here in a second. But yeah, Vogoth, he's kind of cool in a lot of different situations because of the passive here. You're going to heal 25% of the damage received from boss attacks, and this champion's only going to receive half of the heal that the other allies are going to be getting. So you want to kind of go with a super high HP build on him, and he doesn't need to have insane speed. It is kind of handy to get accuracy on him. He does have a decreased attack debuff here and some different stuff going on, but mainly the most important thing with him is he's there as a support to be a high HP build to provide a bunch of heals and help me sustain the bombs and all the damage that I'm taking from Bommel. But okay, here we go. I'll just go ahead and watch the run live with you, and I'll talk about things as they pop into my head. Now, this is at a 5x speed, so it took me a long time, like 25-30 minutes to do this, just sitting here kind of autoing and letting it happen. But you do want to go into the boss fight with your stuff on cooldown so you can place the decreased accuracy and those crucial stuff you're trying to get done. So the waves, pretty self-explanatory. You're just trying to get through them and kind of finish up wave 2 here by making sure you have got the different cooldowns ready to rock when you go to the boss fight. And then once you do that, you should have everything just kind of tuned and ready to go. So I did turn off Vizier's abilities so that he will just spam the A1 and get the extend going off on the boss. Was definitely an important thing to take note of here. So yeah, I've basically crunched a 30-minute run down to about 5 minutes or so, and I'll show you kind of what the fight looks like and what's going on here as we talk about it. So here we go. We got the things that can't be resisted by Whirlwind, and then we extend it right out the gate with Vizier. Now, over the course of this, because of the Vogoth and the different things that Vizier brings, you'll see different things start to stack up. You've got the decreased attack coming in soon, maybe a block buffs, and you start really snowballing a little bit more value and a little bit easier fight, because once you block buffs, now Bommel can't place the increased attack buff on him. And not only that, but if you can get a decreased attack to actually stick, you see there, it popped up for a little bit, but it went away. You've got a little bit of RNG on the Vizier extend, but once you can get it to kind of hit and stick and start getting extended to like 4, 5, 6 turns, then you're off and rolling, and the fight just kind of gets easier from there. There we go. See, now we're all the way up there at like 10 stacks on all the accuracy stuff, and the decreased attack is actually moving up as well. So now we're really, with the team that I've got, we're really just missing the block buffs. Would be nice to get. So he quits adding that blue attack up buff that he gets is really going to help his damage a lot. So block buffs can actually be pretty crucial. If only we had an option to make the normal game look like this, huh? Wouldn't that be fun? If it went up to 5x instead of just 2x, we could go ahead and pop on the 5x and play normally like this. I think at some point I get the block buffs up. Okay, so those 4 are rolling. The leech and the decreased crit damage and the decreased accuracy and the decreased attack. We should be good, but I do think at some point I get the block buffs rolling as well. I went ahead and skipped forward a little bit. You can look at those stacks up there. You've got 30 something on those crucial ones. I never did get the block buffs to stick because I've got Vizier doing the A1, so I never stepped in and did it manually. But as long as I got those 4 with the team I have, we should be good to go. So you can see here, this is like a 30-minute run on full auto that I really sped up here for the video. But I am going to talk about a couple different notes here in closing after I show the champions and their build, in case you're curious about that. We'll talk about some of the ways that I could go about building to really speed up this run. So I'll go through this really quickly. That way you can pause the video or whatever, or just kind of get a quick glimpse of the different builds of the champions. We've got Rector right here, and then the total stats right here, and then the masteries for Rector right here. Then for Duchess, there is the gear right there, and we've got the total stats right here, and then the masteries right there. Here is the gear on Vizier, and then the total stats right there. And then we're going to go over the masteries right here. Oh, let me move myself out of the way. Sorry. We'll go ahead and pop this over. Boom. There is my masteries on Vizier. For Whirlwind Frosking, there's the gear on the right, and then the total stats are right here. And then for the masteries, boom, right there. I'll slide this over again so you can see the masteries on that page. Then lastly, we've got Vogoth, and here is the gear right there with the total stats. And you are not going to believe the masteries on this guy. It is a super insane 500 IQ play. And boom, there is the masteries on Vogoth. You're going to want to be careful copying these. Do not blindly copy masteries. You're going to want to make sure you do your own research and kind of build the champion according to your plan and how you're going to use them on your account. So that was the full team and context, but a way that I could go about, you see here, I am maxed out at 10,000 on materials over there. CVC is in just a couple days. I'm going to have a big crafting section. A way that you could speed up this boss fight is I could make some deflection gear, put it on somebody I don't need super high resistance on, and then go ahead and deflect bombs onto Bommel, because Bommel takes increased damage against bombs. That would significantly speed up the run if I were able to deflect some of those bombs. It would greatly lower the time. So do keep in mind that it is a little bit painful to craft the deflection set, because we want to use our core hammers for swift parry most times, because swift parry is such a good end game set, especially for an arena context. But if you do want to make some deflection gear, it could really make sense on the right champion to really speed up your Bommel runs. So that is my team for Bommel and the full thought process that went into it and why I kind of did what I did. And yeah, it's a very tough boss. Probably the hardest thing we've had to clear in the Doom Tower or in Raid in general. So it is going to be tough. It's going to take good gear. It's going to take a lot to get this guy down, even in normal. And I'm going to try to work on maybe doing a video where we get all of the more budget options for those of you that are maybe on normal or trying to get through it with different epics and rares. I'm going to try to kind of gather all those strategies and maybe put together a budget Bommel video where we talk about all that different stuff. But for this one, it was my journey and my team that I used with the thought process behind it. So let me know what you think down below so far facing Bommel. Anything you see in my team that maybe you would try differently, or maybe something else for people to know about with this team that I forgot to mention. I always enjoy your input as well. So that'll do it for this one. As always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.